What the hell am I doing? Welcome back to another episode of I Have No Idea What I'm Doing. My name is Paula Rogo and I'm your host. Last week, we spoke with Megara Cosmetics founder, Siki Kigongo, about making tough decisions. And sometimes those tough decisions involve setting boundaries. I can say from experience that as much as I'm committed to growing my company, Cali Media, it has come with a lot of costs. I've had to say goodbye to weekends, family, friends, happy hours, holidays, and even sleep. It feels like I'm working nonstop just to make my dream into reality. I'm not saying this to scare you off from entrepreneurship. The experience has really been one of the most fulfilling ones in my life. I just want to prepare you for the realities of starting a company and hopefully give you some tips on how to survive. That's why this episode is about work-life balance. And I talked to some of the entrepreneurs and experts featured in earlier episodes, as well as some of the mini episodes, about how they try to find balance in their lives. First off, I should say that all of the guests agreed that achieving balance is hard. In fact, Gachui, who we featured in our third episode, wondered if we should just give up on work-life balance altogether. June is an attorney and the CEO of the JGIP law firm, as well as a talented entertainer.
I listened to something this weekend that said screw balance. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll share it with both of you. It was actually so funny because to me, I thought, what is this thing that we're striving for? I have an 8 to 5 and then I have a 5 to whenever. I'm a performing artist. So most weeks I have gigs, I have rehearsals. So my day doesn't end until I get home, whatever time that is, you know? And for me, music and art has always been like a stress reliever, but it's now a professional endeavor for me. I do this just the same way I run my legal practice is the same way I run my productions. And I put in the same amount of time, I put in the same amount of effort, I draft proposals for sponsors and partners, and that stuff is not in my 8 to 5 window. So my balance is horrible. It doesn't. So when I saw this video saying screw balance, I'm like, hallelujah, amen. Because I think we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. And I say that life happens in phases. So I'm not married, and I'm not in a serious relationship anymore. So for me, the thing that I'm in a relationship with is my job. And my family is if my mom says, come now, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll go. If my sister says the same, I will go. But there's really very few other people that I would be creating that amount of time for, unless there is a really deep friendship. I have more acquaintances now than I have friends, and I'm grateful for it, to be honest.
But a recent health scare convinced her that perhaps she did need some help at the law firm.
I'm starting to learn that delegation is everything. I recently took 5 weeks off because my mom was unwell. And because of that, this was the true test of time for me. Am I dying, not wanting to sleep because I'm like, what are they doing to my company? Are they going to, is everybody going to leave? Will they burn the place down? But they survived. I mean, 1 or 2 little incidents, but they were able to rally and work as a team. I think for me, that thing called balance is I'm looking at it a lot differently now. And I'm like, right now, if I can do the things that I feel I need for my own happiness, for my own fulfillment, and for me to be able to do my part in this universe during this time, then whatever that is for me right now, I believe I am doing and doing well.
Tanya Mula from episode 3 also had great insights into how to hire people and manage her workload. She's the CEO and founder of Studio Red Communications in Tanzania.
I think it's very important to realize when you need help, you're not supposed to know everything. You're supposed to surround yourself with people that you can count on, that can help you achieve the vision you have for your own company. I'm struggling with the work-life balance. I won't even lie to you, but I know it's time to slow down because when you get tired, you don't think as well, and clients pay us to think for them or with them or on their behalf. So, I don't answer work messages on weekends or after 5 p.m. I think, Paula, you've seen I don't answer on weekends. It's good to shut down. It's good to delegate. It's good to trust the people around you. If I have a baby next year, I know that somebody will definitely step in and take the load away from me. And that's very comforting. But it takes a while for you to get there. You're not hiring, robots and minions. You're hiring a family, is how I take it. And as a family, you work together and you play together and you get successful together. But I suck at work-life balance. I won't even lie. I'm horrible. Work, drinks, dinner, sleep all weekend. I need to work on it.
I really relate to what Tanya is saying because I suck at this work-life balance thing. And I'm not proud of that. I know it's something I really need to work on. Luckily, many of these ladies are starting to figure it out. Take Navalayo Osembo, the CEO and founder of Ender Running Shoes. Over time, she has had to learn to manage a global company with her family obligations. I spoke with her in episode 2.
I used to be very stressed about it, but nowadays I just focus on what's the priority, what needs to be done, and I've also been searching the answer to this question, talking to a lot of people who are doing something similar, asking how they deal with it. And basically what I'm doing now is to just block key times. I know that when I get home, I'm not touching my laptop until the kids go to sleep. I know that I need to actually get out of the office and eat lunch. Like there's no eating lunch at the desk. I know that I have to wake up at X amount of time and at least do like a 30-minute exercise or whatever it may be. So after I have prioritized those key times, then it's just going to the business and saying, what are the key priorities? Anything else, I'll just push it forward. I used to try to do everything. It didn't work out for me. So kind of just now family and priority. And that's working for now. When kids are sick, they want their mother, So you kind of have to just cancel everything else and be there. So sometimes it's very stressful and I'm trying to manage it because there's always something going on.
Okay, ladies, this is a really great conversation, but I just wanted to take a moment to announce the next Cali Media project. In January, we'll be launching Cali Lisa, a bi-weekly newsletter that is an unfiltered lens of news, pop culture, lifestyle, and feminism for East African women. It's like an email from your smart, funny, and savvy best friend right there in your inbox. You can go sign up for it now on the Cali Media website at www.cali.media/caliletta. That's www.cali.media/KALILETTER. Now back to this great conversation. I don't have children, so I can't speak on what it's like to juggle my business with kids. But Kellie Murungi, the creator of the popular personal finance blog, Rookie Manager, and business consultant at Lattice Consulting, shared some great insights as a working mother. She was featured in episode 2.
Especially in Kenya, we don't have a lot of, and in Nairobi specifically, we don't have a lot of social support for mothers. And this is something I lived because when I got my daughter 6 years ago as a single mother, I was also a CEO of a company with a team of about 54 people. And I was learning on the job, both sides. It was in hospitality. I'm not a hotelier. But I realized very quickly that, no one cares that you have a child, that you just became a new mom. Seriously, like no one cares. But what helped, I think, and it's advice that I was given by someone who went ahead of me. They told me get a really, really good helper and pay them really, really well. Because your helper is what determines your productivity as an entrepreneur and as a woman who is working and managing family. But I usually tell women entrepreneurs guilt is not a very useful emotion, So you focus on being present where you're at. It doesn't help to be at work and you're worrying about home. So do what you can, get a fantastic helper, put up structures and systems as you would in your business, so that when you're at work, you're at work. And when you're home, then you're home. So shut that laptop and focus. And you will find, in between traffic and client obligations, you get really little time with the children and with your family. Make that time count and just making it quality time. Don't spend, and I don't want to sound judgy, but if you have 2 hours, don't watch news and TV and whatnot. Talk to each other and just make that time count. Because really, research has shown it's not the quantity of the time we spend, especially with kids. It's the quality of time, and how we make them feel when we are with them. So you don't want your kids feeling like they come second to your work. Despite the fact that, sometimes realistically speaking, your business may come first because it's there and things are burning, but you want to make sure that you're balancing things off at home.
There can be a dark side if you don't find some balance. You can't work nonstop forever and expect everyone in your life to keep adjusting. Siki Kigongo, who I spoke with in episode 5, experienced this firsthand as the CEO of Megara Cosmetics. She recently stepped back from her company.
When I said it was difficult, it was just finding enough time to see your family and to see your friends and to have a private life, or at least try and have one. So initially what I was doing it in a very regimented way and saying Sunday is a family day. And that's just dedicated to seeing everyone, all your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your uncles, that sort of thing. And then trying to see my friends maybe 2-3 times a week. And basically having no life, no space to have a dating life. I literally didn't even know where that would go. And I mean, it's unrealistic to live that sort of way because not everyone just fits in a box and not everyone is available when you're available. And just being known as that last minute person because you don't know if you can flake out a dinner or not, depending on if you have a scheduled meeting.
The consequences of overworking is something Nicole Ansoni experienced with her restaurant, Inka Steakhouse in Rwanda. Nicole appeared in a She Has No Idea What She's Doing mini episode.
People saw the glitz and the glam of Nicole having this amazing restaurant. But behind the scenes for the first 4 months, I was extremely depressed. Extremely depressed. Every day I would go to bed just thinking, what the hell have I done? This is too big. I was too ambitious. I can't do this. This is too big. This is bigger than life, But then every morning you sort of tell yourself, oh my goodness, I have all these young kids that are depending on me, all my waiters, all my kitchen staff, and then you have, the 5 other people who are dependent on them, and they're counting on this job, and this is the dream, is what I've always wanted to do. So to everybody else on the outside, it was so glamorous, and it's like, oh my goodness, you get to live your dream. This is so great. But every night I went to bed crying, thinking, my goodness, am I going to be able to pull this off?
Nicole said her support systems were key in surviving her first year as an entrepreneur.
Oh, they're everything. They're everything. I never knew the monster that it would be to open a restaurant. But because I have such amazing friends and family who believed in me from the get and believed in more importantly, believed in the concept and the idea. And so they really saw me through all those hard times and saying, hey, pick yourself back up. Come on, don't, you're not a victim here. Dust it off. Get back on the horse. It's going to be fine. People have dealt through worse.
In our first episode, we spoke with Scheaffer Okore, the vice chair of Kenya's Ukweli Party and the program manager of Siasa Place. And she agreed that support systems are incredibly important for her, especially as a public figure who has to deal with trolls on social media. This was her advice.
Get a bunch of awesome women offline who can support and feed your soul. Because it doesn't get easier, but you need to build strength to make it through it because they don't stop. Trolls are crazy people, right? And people troll you for different reasons, and you don't even want to start analyzing why are you trolling me versus you, why are you trolling me? So just get a lot of, people offline who can protect you from all that negativity and get a way to get it out of your system. And sometimes when people say getting out of your system, they think there's something major you do. Sometimes you just listen to music. Sometimes you just cuss. I think cussing is liberation, and cussing was meant for sane people. So sometimes it's just cussing out, right? Sometimes it's just your silent moment in the corner of your house and on your favorite couch with a book and with wine. Sometimes just crying, because crying is also really good and it cleanses your soul. Sometimes just taking a walk with somebody you really like and holding their hand. I mean, different things, but get offline once in a while and just get yourself together, get yourself centered.
Now, for those of you who really cannot figure out how to balance your work and life, Melissa Mbugua has a solution. She's an entrepreneur and the managing partner of M&M Consulting. We spoke in our very first episode.
I learned how to live from the inside out. I learned all this from a coach. Like, I got a coach. Get mentors, get coaches, get therapists, people. Like, you need your support systems as well as the girlfriend squad that holds you up. And also good men. So it's about learning, like, for example, stuff like, are you a night owl or a morning person? What do you like to do in the afternoon? When do you work out? So that then I know how to protect my special me time, like my crying time, my wine time, my yoga time. my silent time. So as long you can call me, and I won't answer when it's those times. You know, for example, I'll be on airplane mode or on silent, but I'll call you back when I come out of my me time. So it's just about knowing. I feel like it's more about me as an individual knowing what I need and then making sure I carve out the space and time for that. And then people just will know, just setting those expectations, like with clients, like Sunday morning at 9 a.m. I'm not going to answer the phone.
Honestly, I think I might need to hire that coach. Thank you to all our guests for being so open and honest about how they achieve or don't achieve work-life balance. Trust me, it isn't easy. But at the end of the day, our businesses cannot survive without us. So ladies, don't forget to take care of yourselves. Our final episode airs next week, and we'll be talking about women, entrepreneurship, and sexism. So tune in. And before we end the show today, we also want to find out more about our audience. Who are you? Where do you live? Do you like podcasts? Do you want more? Head over to Kali Media's website to fill out a quick survey, and I promise it will only take a few minutes. You can find the survey at www.kali.media/podcast survey. That's www.kalimedia/PODCASTSURVEY. I Have No Idea What I'm Doing is a Kali Media production. I'm your executive producer and host, Paula Rogo. Our producer is Halima Gikandi. Our production assistant is Mame Frimpong. The music for this show was created by Ejaya Joshua, aka Jopi the Chef, and we recorded this episode at the None on Record Studio and Mojo Productions in Nairobi. You can find the I Have No Idea What I'm Doing podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. It will also be available on our Kali Media YouTube channel. You can find out more information about this episode at www.kali.media. If you like it, tell a friend. I'm your host, Paula Rogo. Until next time.